Lando Norris wins his home Grand Prix in Silverstone, but not without mountains and mountains of controversy. We'll get into that in just a few minutes, but first, Nico Hulkenberg finishes on his first podium in 239 starts. I gotta give him his credence. He's finally done it. He's done it in a Sauber. He's already scored way more points than anybody had already expected out of this car, going from 19th to 3rd. Brilliant strategy all the way throughout the race, humming down, going on slicks, being able to make up some time before having to go back. Just absolutely tremendous job by Nico Hulkenberg in that Sauber crew. 239 starts, and he finally gets his podium. Driver of the day, well deserved. Incredible job. I cannot express this. Incredible job by Nico Hulkenberg. Now, all the happy story are now out of the way. Let's dive into the controversy, because there is some major controversy here. So Lando Norris, he is but an innocent bystander in this. He is a victim of circumstance. He absolutely 100% deserves to win this Grand Prix. He had a fast car, but coming out of the safety car, I believe it was the final full safety car after a wild beginning, Oscar Piastri begins to slow up because the lights on the safety car had gone out, and you gotta give the safety car time to scurry away for restarting the race, and that's what Oscar was doing. And in the very treacherous conditions of as they put on the F1 broadcast, a biblical downpour, which it was a absolute downpour. Max didn't see the lights go out. Well, couldn't see really anything, and inadvertently overtook Piastri, gave the position back, and that should have been the end of it. But it was exaggerated after, when Max tries to gas it up, he spins out. He just started gassing it up in a bad spot, and made the situation so much worse, even though they were not connected. And the FIA came in, started investigating, and slapped Oscar Piastri with a 10-second penalty. And we have the FIA document right here. So, 10-second penalty, 2 penalty points for this non-incident exaggerated by a separate incident. The reasoning for the stewards. The stewards reviewed the positioning marshalling system data, video, telemetry, team radio, and in-car evidence. When the clerk of the course had declared the safety car was coming in that lap, the lights were extinguished. Car 81 suddenly braked hard, 59.2 psi of brake pressure, and reduced the speed in the middle of the straight between turns 14 and 15 from 218 kilometers per hour to 52, resulting in car 1 having to take evasive action to avoid a collision. This momentarily resulted in the 1 car unavoidably overtaking the 81 car in the position which he gave back immediately. Article 5515 of the FIA sporting regulations required the car 81 to proceed at a pace which involved no erratic braking nor other maneuvers which is likely to endanger other drivers from the point which the lights on the safety car are turned off. And so, yes, when the lights go out, you have to you have to brake. You have to give the safety car time to scurry away. And the lights went out at a bad part of the track. The treacherous conditions didn't make it easier on anybody behind them. You have to take into account that the conditions were far less than ideal, and the FIA is pretending like it wasn't downpouring, like visibility wasn't incredibly low. I mean, this is absolutely insane. That makes you wonder, had Oscar Piastri have a British license, would this be a thing? Would it go this far? Would he get the 10-second penalty and the 2 penalty points on top of that? Would it be something? And you look at history and the way that they have dealt with Oscar Piastri, or with Lando Norris a couple weeks ago in Canada. Lando Norris actually made contact. Lando Norris made a bad decision. He clobbered Oscar Piastri at Canada, essentially trying to squeeze between Oscar and the wall, trying to act like his car was the 1989 Batmobile and everything falls off and he can slip right on through. I don't know what the thought process was there. And then the FIA comes out and just hits him with a 5-second penalty, which he was already out of the race. And since he was already classified as finishing because there was only 5 laps to go, he got nothing. And there's actual contact made. There's actual damage done. But 5 seconds was given to Lando for plowing into the back of Oscar and effectively ending the Canadian Grand Prix. 5 seconds. No points. No points at all. And yet here you get 10 seconds, 2 penalty points, because the race director doesn't have a damn clue what he's doing. And this isn't a shot at Lando. Lando, I said at the top of this, he is an innocent bystander in this. This is between Oscar and the FIA. Oscar got screwed. Much like, in my opinion, at, I think it was Saudi Arabia, the FIA screwed Max. And now it is Oscar getting screwed. Oscar Piastri should be the winner of this race. No question. And Lando, an innocent bystander who was able to take advantage of the FIA being completely and totally inept. And you want to go even further on this? Go a little bit back to Yuki Tsunoda's 10-second penalty, once that decides to load up. He had an incident with Oliver Behrman, sending Oliver Behrman off, having to cut through, I think it was Maggots and Beckett's. But he was given a 10-second penalty. And the inconsistency continues to grow as he is only given 1 penalty point. And pretty much what happened there was Yuki got a little squirmish because it is wet. It has been raining. They were going side by side They happened to touch, and Oliver had to go, and Oliver got sent off the track. That is racing. That is racing in the rain. It's going to happen. And yet, here comes, once again, 10-second penalty, 1 penalty point for a racing incident. While, and take note, Yuki, Japanese, Oscar, Australian, Lando Norris, British, getting just a light tap on the wrist. And yeah, it's unfortunate for Ollie that it happened to him. But that is the fact of the reality of racing in treacherous conditions. You're going to have stuff like this. You need to have more leeway in stuff like this. And yet here we are. This is the reasoning. This is the reasoning for the Yuki penalty. The stewards reviewed the position time, blah, 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 blah. Car 87 was overtaking car 22 at turn 6 on the outside. Car 87 was well ahead of the apex of car 22. Car 87 had its front axle ahead of the front axle of the car 22 at the apex and was driven in a controlled manner. Car 87 therefore had the right to the corner. Car 22 had a slight snap of oversteer. Yeah, that's going to happen in the rain. Again, it's a racing incident, and they literally describe it in the FIA document as a racing incident. What in the hell is going on here? Like, this is incredible. In the actual document itself, it describes a racing incident. And yet they still slap Yuki with a race-destroying 10-second penalty. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. I mean, you have to wonder, what would the penalties be if Oscar had British super licenses instead of Australian and Japanese? Because I can almost promise you, ain't no 10-second penalties getting handed out. This was the most blatant British bias I have ever seen in F1. It is insane. I mean, and again, this isn't on Oliver. This isn't on Lando. This is all on the FIA. This is clinically insane. And Ben Soleimani, the moron president of the FIA, he's got so many rules to where if a driver says something bad about the FIA, then they get severely punished, get points taken away. So they can't even come out and say, hey, here's what happened. I don't know what they're talking about. Or just simply flat out saying, these guys are morons. They can't say it, so I'm going to. The FIA is full of freaking morons. That is what we have to deal with. And Ben Soleimani knows it. So he has all these rules in place where drivers can't speak out and pretty much call bull. So you know what? I'm taking the mantle. I know many other creators are going to be taking the mantle here. The FIA is complete and total full of crap. It's insane. Whew! Alright. Now we got that off my chest. Oh, dear Lord. Oh, dear Lord. So, we'll see if they got the standings updated. Hopefully they do. Hopefully they do. They spent all this time making this grand website. You think they'd be quick to update it. Drivers. Now, I think that's correct. I think that's correct. Because it should be. Wait, now, yeah. Yeah. My computer's running incredibly slow. So we're gonna take those out. See if we can pick it back up. I know RBR Daily is very quick with the standings, but it looks like he's not quite got it up yet. And okay, so we do have the driver standings. So it is. So yeah, that was the correct standings. Piastri at 234, Norris at 226, 8 points. Another first, second, it's 1 point. And Max, after another rough day, 165. But Russell had a worse day, 147. And then Leclerc, Hamilton, Antonelli, 119, 103, 63, respectively. Albon, 8th. Nico Hulkenberg, after his podium, freshly in the top 10, 37 points. And then Esteban Ocon, 23. So it looks like we're going to get some breaking news as I'm recording. And it said from the BBC. Article written by Andrew Benson. Ben Cushins, Oh, Jesus. Peter's on the fritz. Ben Cushins, vice president of the Royal Automotive Club, had been on the Senate for 3.5 years, supporting Soleimani's candidature for president of the motorsports governing body. He has been replaced by Azerbaijani Anar Alakalabalov, known as a supporter and ally of Ben Soleimani. The Senate is the FIA body responsible for the financial oversight in the government structure. So pretty much, just going quickly through this, it looks like Soleimani is replacing ass kissers with bigger ass kissers. So should we start calling him King Soleimani? Or King Solomon? Whatever. Absolute menace to Formula One. This guy. Absolute menace to Formula One. And he shows day in and day out, decision. He has no idea what he's doing. Or he knows exactly what he's doing. And, oh my goodness, it's taking forever to load. Absolute menace to motorsports. And the one thing that I will give NASCAR credit for, they don't have this useless sack of crap running it. They got a whole different set of sacks of craps running it, but that's for a different video. But yeah. So, but as far as with Lando Norris, did an incredible job. Hung in there. The changing conditions, you didn't see Lando crack at all under the immense, I wouldn't even say immense pressure. There wasn't a whole lot of pressure on him once that 10-second penalty came down. It was just keeping it between the white lines, keeping it on pavement. That's all you got to do. Oscar's not going to run 10 seconds up the road on you. Especially with there being no pressure from behind. Because that's how That's how Piastri got 15 seconds up the road before the safety car. So, but no pressure from behind. Norris, keep it between the white lines, keep it within 10 seconds. He was able to do that, and we got what we got. So, congrats on Lando Norris winning on home turf. I know this race means the world to many drivers, especially when they grew up, when they were born in the UK. So, inadvertently, this, and to absolutely none of Lando's doing, the asterisk goes on this because of all the circumstances surrounding it. And it sucks that it happened to him. It's happened this way. But congrats to Oscar, or congrats to Lando, and unfortunate for Oscar Piastri. And as far as the rumors with Max potentially going to Mercedes, the rumors, I believe, are valid. I've said this in a video earlier this week. I'm going to say it again. I think where there's smoke, there's fire. I don't know how massive the flames are. It's truly going to depend on whether Max thinks it has trust in Red Bull going into 2026. And whether Russ... And the other thing is that the contract buyout, or the contract stipulation in Max's. We don't know exactly where that magical number is. Is it second? Is it third? Is it fourth? Last we knew, and this again was before the contract extension, Max could opt out if he was below third in the points. If he was fourth or lower, he could opt out. Now, after the day Russell has had, it looks very unlikely that's going to happen. But you know Toto is looking around. He's looking through it. Max, he might be looking out. Obviously, where there is smoke, there is fire. And the question that Toto Wolff has to ask, is Max worth it? Is Max worth blowing up your grand scheme and going out and maybe winning a couple championships? Or is there more of a belief that Russell and Antonelli can go out and do that? I believe Antonelli can go out and do that. The book is still out on Russell. I think Russell is a tremendous driver, but being the driver for Mercedes, I'm not sure. And after today, I mean, obviously the opinion's not going to sway one way or the other, but you have to ask, is Russell that championship driver that we believe that he could be? And that's going to be the $1 million question. And, you know, there's one more race before the summer break where Max's clause can get triggered. And we'll see what happens. So, I think we've gone through everything there is to go on about. But yeah, I mean, obviously, driver of the day, Nico Hulkenberg, going from 19th to 3rd in a Sauber. Nothing short of incredible. And my dumbass of the day, Ben Solomon, the FIA president, the race director, the marshals, or the race stewards, I should say. Those all win dumbass of the day. So, all right, I think I got everything that I wanted to get off my chest. We'll be back after Chicago, and we'll talk about what kind of shit show that's going to be. So, until later on today. We'll see you.